So part A, draw the next row of coins above, continuing the same pattern. So what we notice each time is that we have 1 in the center, and then a 5 either side of the 1, and then a 1 in the center, a 5 either side of the 1, and then a 1 either side of the 5, then 1 in the center, a 5 either side of that 1, 1 either side of that 5, and another 5 either side. So this is continuing on. So if we take row 4 and draw it down here, so bring down the 5, the 1, the 5, the 1, the 5, the 1, and the 5, and then just add on an extra 1 at either side. Then we have row 5. Likewise, if we wanted row 6, we would bring down the entire row 5 and then stick on a 5 at either end of the 1. B. The table below gives the number of coins and the total value of coins in each row. Complete the table for rows 4 to 7. So, in row 1, the first row, we had one 1-cent coin. We had no 5-cent coins. So the total number of coins in the row was 1, and the total value of coins was 1. In row 2, we had one 1-cent coin again, and then we had two 5-cent coins. So a 5-cent coin added onto either side of that 1-cent coin in the center. 1 plus 2 makes 3 coins in total. And if we add up the amounts, we have one 1-cent coin, two 5-cent coins, which represents 10 cent, and 1 cent plus 10 cent is 11 cent. In row 3, we had 3 1-cent coins. We still had the two 5-cent coins. 3 plus 2 makes 5, the number of coins in total, and then the value. The two 5-cent coins represents 10 cent. 10 cent plus 3 cent is 13 cent. In the fourth row then, we still had the 3 1-cent coins, and this time we added on another 2 of the 5-cent coins, so now we have 4 5-cent coins. 3 plus 4 makes 7 coins in total, and 4 multiplied by 5 is 20 cent, plus 3 is 23 cent. In the fifth row, we add on another 2 1-cent coins to get 5 1-cent coins, and we've got the same number of 5-cent coins. 5 plus 4 makes 9 coins in total, and then 4 multiplied by 5 is 20, plus 5 is 25 cent in total. In the sixth row, we still have 5 1-cent coins, and then we add on another 2 5-cent coins to get 6. 6 plus 5 makes 11 coins in total, and 6 multiplied by 5 is 30, plus 5 is 35 cent in total. In the seventh row, we add on 2 more 1-cent coins to get to 7, and we have the same number of 5-cent coins. 7 plus 6 is 13. We have 13 coins in total. And then 6 times 5 is 30, plus 7 is 37 cent. Complete the following sentences to state in terms of n the number of 1-cent and 5-cent coins in row n. If n is odd, row n has 1-cent coins and 5-cent coins. If n is even, row n has 1-cent coins and 5-cent coins. So if we just take our first two rows and have a look at the number of 1-cent coins and the number of 5-cent coins. So in row 1, we had one 1-cent coin and 0 5-cent coins. And in row 2, we had one 1-cent coin and 2 5-cent coins. So we're going to use this to help us fill in these blanks. So if n is odd, so here's n, and in the first row we have 1, and 1 is an odd number. So we're going to use this row of values to help us fill in these blanks. So if n is odd, in this case n is 1, then row n has n 1-cent coins. So in row 1 we had one 1-cent coin. In row 3 we had 3 1-cent coins. In row 5 we had 5 1-cent coins, and so on. So we just put n in the blank here. We've n 1-cent coins. And then we have n minus 1 5-cent coins. So the number of 5-cent coins was 0, and 1 minus 1 is 0 5-cent coins. If n is even, so for example row 2 is even, so we're going to use this row of values to help us fill in these blanks. So if n is even, in this case n being 2, then row n has n minus 1 1-cent coins. So if n, for example, was 2, so we've subbed in 2 here, 2 minus 1 is 1 cent coins, and n 5-cent coins, so 2 and 2. Part D, find the total number of coins in the 40th row. So for the 40th row, n will be equal to 40, which is an even number. So we need to take this statement from the previous question. So if n is even, and n equal being 40 is even, then n has n minus 1 1-cent coins and n 5-cent coins. So the number of coins is going to be n minus 1 plus n. So n plus n is 2n, and bring down the minus 1. So get 2n minus 1. And if we sub in 40, we get 2 times 40, which is 80 minus 1, which is 79. So the number of coins in the 40th row is 79 coins. Alternatively, we could have made an nth term formula from the number of coins in the row. So we've got 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. And the difference between each term is 2. So we're going to stick on an n to 2. And then if we go back from the first term to the 0 term, 1 minus 2 is minus 1, so we stick on a minus 1, and there's our nth term. Alternatively, you could use the formula in the formula tables. Then we sub in 40 in place of the n with brackets. 2 by 40 is 80, minus 1 is 79, so we still get the same thing. Find the total value of the coins in the 40th row. So again, we're going to use this statement that we got from the previous question. If n is even, row n has n minus 1 1-cent coins and n 5-cent coins. So the total value of coins of the first 40 rows is going to be n minus 1 multiplied by 1 cent and n multiplied by 5 cent. So we swap the n for 40. So 40 minus 1 is 39, and 39 multiplied by 1 cent is 39 cent. And then 40 times 5 cent is 200 cent, and 39 plus 200 is 239 cent, or €2.39. Alternatively, we could have taken all the even rows values. So the second row was 11, the fourth row was 23, the sixth row was 35, and we would have started a pattern 11, 23, 35, and we would have got the nth term for that. So to get from 11 to 23, we're adding 12, from 23 to 35, we're adding 12. So the first part of our nth term is going to be 12 with an n stuck on. And then we go back by 12 to get the 0 term, and 11 minus 12 is minus 1. So 12n minus 1 is our formula. We're going to sub in 20 in place of the n, because if we're looking for the value of the coins in the 40th row, then we need to divide that by 2 to get 20, because only using the even numbers we're using half of the rows. So 12 by 20 minus 1 gives us 239 cent as well. F. Which row has coins with a total value of 337 cent? So we're going to take this statement from a previous question. If n is odd, row n has n 1-cent coins and n minus 1 5-cent coins. So if n is odd, we're going to have n multiplied by 1 cent plus n minus 1 multiplied by 5 cent, and this will be equal to 337. So n multiplied by 1 is n by 5 is 5n, n by minus 1 is minus 5, equal to 337. N plus 5n is 6n, and if we bring the minus 5 over the equal sign, we get 337 plus 5, which is 342. And then we divide across by 6. 342 divided by 6 is 57, so n is equal to 57. Now, if n is even, row n has n minus 1 1-cent coins and n 5-cent coins. So if n is even, we have n minus 1 times 1 cent and n times 5 cent equal to 337. So n by 1 is n, and minus 1 by 1 is minus 1. N by 5 is 5n. N plus 5n is 6n. And 337 plus 1 is 338. Dividing across by 6, 338 divided by 6 is 56 and a third. And 56 and a third is not an element of the natural number set. So 56 and a third is not a positive whole number. It's not a whole number. Therefore, row 57 has a total value of 337 cents. G. Find the total value of the coins in the first 40 rows. The total value. Okay, so our odd row, odd being 1, 3, 5, and 7, so our first, third, fifth, and seventh rows, has a total value of coins being 1, 13, 25, 37. So 1 plus 13 plus 25 plus 37 dot dot dot. This is our arithmetic series. So we're going to use our sum of series formula from our formula tables. A is going to be 1, which is the first term. D is going to be the common difference, which is going to be 12. We're going up by 12. And N is going to be 20, because we're looking for the total value of coins in the first 40 rows, and 40 divided by 2 is 20. So there are 20 odd rows in the first 40 rows. So we swap the N for 20, the A for 1 with brackets around it, the N for 20, and the D for 12 with brackets around it. And we end up getting 2,300. So we do the same then with the even rows. So the even rows being 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. And we've got 11, 23, 35 as our sequence. So we've got 11 plus 23 plus 35 dot dot dot. So A is going to be 11, our first term. D, the common difference, is 12. And again, N is 20, because 40 divided by 2 is 20. There are 20 even rows in the first 40 rows. So we swap the N for 20, the A for 11, the N for 20, and the D for 12. We get 2,500. Adding the 2,300 and the 2,500 together gives us 4,800 cents, which is 48 euro. So the total value of the coins in the first 40 rows is 48 euro.